Welcome back, friends. You have made it to part 3 of how to create an amazing hiring experience for your revenue teams. And today we're going to talk about onboarding. This is the third giant pillar. Now, for those of you who have been part of our journey, the Win Spectrum journey, the last half dozen years, thank you. And when we get onboarding, you know some of the thoughts that we're going to have are pretty strong. Now, for those of you getting to know me and my team, we take onboarding a lot more seriously than probably, 100% of the companies that are out there. And yeah, 100%. Because if you know the story of how and why Win Spectrum was founded, you probably get it. But suffice it to say, this is the most important thing a revenue org can get right. You want to shorten ramp times. You want wider hiring lanes, as we talked about in prior videos. You want the ability to recruit as diverse of a group as you want. You want higher average selling prices, lower churn. You want a team you can be damn proud of and one that understands how to create consistent revenue year in and year out for you. Understanding the pillars of how to build and run an exceptional onboarding program is the answer. So let's dive into this. So far, we've audited our role. We've assessed our data. We know what we need, the level we need it based on our proven or disproven internal abilities. We understand what do you find, right? How are you going to build that process that works well? As you audit your roles, as you have your assessments, as you think of your process, what did you find? Are you as good as you thought? If you are, that's amazing. Keep going. Nice work. If you're not, pay attention. Because if your onboarding is kind of crappy, if you don't have your sales process fully defined as well as you'd like, if you don't understand your conversations, your skills, and all the things that you really probably should, onboarding may be the avenue that steadies your ship. So, we're not going to go into the massive depth that is onboarding. If you want to talk about that, ask me, comment, I'll go deeper on it, or book a call with us. We can have some fun talking about it. But here are the 3 levers that within onboarding you have absolute control over. Outcomes, abilities, and the field. See, for outcomes, if your onboarding doesn't cover everything needed for them to successfully act, drive pipeline, book meetings, have renewal calls, whatever it might be, to have success in the field on day 1, start over. And I'll give you an example we see almost every time. If you have, let's say, an enterprise sales cycle, maybe it's 6 months, 12 months, 18 months long, and you teach negotiation or account handoffs in onboarding, this is a sign you have some work to do. Why in the world would you teach them something they will not be using for a year? That is not the things that will give them success in the field on day 1. Those elements are better layered at or near the times that they're approaching having those interactions with customers for the first time at your company. Keep it fresh. They will not remember the intricacies of that conversation unless they practice it very frequently a year down the road. You control the outcomes that your onboarding creates. Second, abilities. A person's ability to earn and thrive for you are 100% under your control. Because this is a time in onboarding where you're displaying the behaviors you need while teaching them the right way to do it at your company. Because you've thought about this. You've been intentional about how success is created at those individual roles at your organization. And then you're measuring their ability to do it. And you control that, which means there needs to be testing to ensure that everyone is pacing properly. And if you aren't testing with the pass, fail, and tributaries for both, you have some work to do. Because if somebody is passing and doing great, awesome. Maybe they can go faster. Maybe they're going to be your superstar. Write that down. Encourage them. See what they're doing well. Document all of this. For those that may be struggling, if your training is exceptional, then they're not failing because of that. They're failing because of other things. Let's talk to them about it. Let's figure it out. If they're slowing down, let's figure it out now, early, if they're right for our organization. It's much easier to make that decision now. If they are, if we have conviction of this person that we want them here, for the right reasons, not because we just like them and they're fun to have around, but we feel they can be a solid contributor to this team. Then we have to have ways of taking the program that we have and maybe slowing it down for them, giving them some extra time, some one-on-one time, some reinforcement, extra activities, whatever it might be. But have those tributaries so on graduation day, everyone has a chance, an equal chance, to get into number 3, the field. You control whether or not they go into the field. And it's very simple. Would you send an unprepared soldier into battle? Don't let them get into the field until they show you and themselves that they are ready based on a test and a program that actually creates the results in your environment. And here's a tough one that companies have. They sacrifice on this principle. They let everyone into the field as long as they've gone through testing. Hell, some of them let them into the field in the middle of it when they're clearly unprepared, because they're thinking about the business impact they want, not the impact this person could have to the business if you took your time. Sacrificing on this principle, it will weaken the integrity of the entire onboarding program. So get onboarding right. Find the outcomes and drive to the outcomes in this program that take your people where they need to go for success in the field on day one. Hold them accountable to the abilities that they have, that they are showing or not showing you, and put a plan together for them if they're falling behind. And control their ability to get in the field. Look at our prior videos on what happens when you fail people. That's how good teams are built. Get your onboarding right. And now that you have the 3 pieces to hire salespeople and revenue teams like a pro, prepare, right? You're going to do your role audits, your onboarding audits, baselining your hiring levels and ability to change skill and behavior. We've taught how to hire, how to build the right hiring process, right? How to really define the role for once and for all, how to build the assessments we use to measure their fit and special abilities they bring to our teams, how we measure them equally, and how we build the team properly to evaluate this, and then how we decide intentionally. And then our third, of course, is onboarding. We're going to control the controllables. We're going to build a program that builds to outcomes that we know they need, that creates behaviors and abilities that we know our top people exhibit that leads to great revenue results. And we're going to control their ability to get into the field until until all parties are ready and able to be there. This is how the best do it. And yes, it takes work. It may take you a day or two to build this. It may take you a year, depending on how far behind you are. But it takes talent that may or may not have in your walls. That's okay. Go find it, but do not shortchange this experience. Because in the end, when you're trying to build outcomes and you shortchange the experience needed to drive them, we know the only person it hurts is you. So build these great processes, understand the roles, onboard intentionally and with some vigor. I'll tell you, you'll build the best damn revenue teams on the planet. Hope this is helpful. Like and follow, subscribe to us. We'll chat soon.